on YouTube. Today we're going to look at back extensions and also work some of the areas on the quads, the psoas muscles. So we'll be doing some kneeling, some back bends, a whole range of things, even some arm balances, handstands. So I hope you'll join me. These are the props you need for today. I've got 2 bricks, a strap, a chair, and either a blanket or an extra mat, and a bolster if you have one. If not, some cushions will do just fine. So I hope you're finding these lessons helpful. You can join in, you can repeat, you can do them again, you can stop at any time. I'm trying to give you time to get the props ready before the first pose begins, before the next pose begins. So we're going to begin a warm-up today with 3 different poses that we will alternate. So they're going to be downward dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana, forward bend, which is Uttanasana, and arm balance. And we're going to do those 3 in a round as a warm-up. Right, so here we go. Begin on your mat. Be near a wall for your arm balance. Come into all fours, tabletop pose, turn the toes under, and lift up into your Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward dog. Lengthen through the arms, lift up the hips, release the heels down. So remember, this is a warm-up. You're working every part of the body, from the little toe through to the little finger. Lengthen the arms, press down the palms, lift the hips up. Open the backs of the thighs, zip open the backs of the knees. Lengthen, bring the collarbones down to the mat. And then for Uttanasana, you can either step or jump into a wide pose where the feet are each side of the mat. So here we go. And then take the arms to the side. You can either catch your ankles or put your hands on the side. Open the chest first and then release the head down. So this is Uttanasana. You want to be sure your legs are vertical, so you're not leaning forwards or backwards, you're vertical. Fingertips on the floor or holding onto the back of the ankles, release the head down. Elbows out to the side. You can hold it there for 30 seconds or more. And then hands on the hips, come up. Next, Virasana, Adho Mukha Virasana, which is arm balance. So this you can do in 2 ways. You can do it as you did when you were a child. So you can swing up from standing position, or you can go into it from your downward dog starting place. So I'll demonstrate both. With the hands 6 inches from the mat, begin in downward dog, and then you step forward until your shoulders are over the wrists. Get ready with one leg to swing up, and then press through the palms, lift the chest, walk the heels up the wall, and come down. Go back to our warm-up. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Bring the chest in towards the thighs. Stay here for 30 seconds or more. And then when you're ready, jump or step into Uttanasana. kneecaps lifted. Keep the weight on the toes and the heels. Draw the elbows away from the shoulders. Separate the sitting bones. And then hands on the hips come up. And I'll show you the other way of beginning the handstand, like you did when you were a child. You can stand, come up. So this one, there's more swing, there's more momentum, more propulsion. Try the other leg. Hands down, up. Lift up the chest, and then come down with one leg or two, and release. And that's the end of the warm-up. The next series of poses involves Virasana, which is a kneeling pose, and it looks like this. Turn to the side to show you from the side angle. Bring the knees together and the feet to the sides. So as you sit down, you take your hand on the calf, roll the calf out and back, out and down towards the heel, and sit in between. So this is a seated pose. You can pull the flesh out from the buttocks and sit. However, if this doesn't work for your knees, then take a brick or a book or a pillow and pop it under the sitting bones. So take care of your knees. Make sure that you've got ample support so that your knees are not straining in this pose. The other thing you might need is a strap. So when you're ready, you've seated yourself in Virasana, with or without your brick, then have a strap handy, and we're going to do two poses here. We'll begin with Garudasana, and then we'll take Gomukasana. So Garudasana is the eagle pose. Stretch the arms out to the side, bend at the elbows, bring the right over the left, completely cross over the arms, bring them back, palms together, and lift. So we're activating the trapezius, broadening the collarbones, and lift the elbows up to the height of your shoulders. Gaze softly through the wrists. Hold for a couple of breaths and then stretch the arms out one more time. Bend at the elbows, left over right, completely cross them over. Bring them back, palms together. Lift the elbows to the height of your shoulders. Gaze softly through the wrists. And then stretch out, stretch up, and release. Gomukasana, which is cow-faced pose. Have your strap handy if you need it. We're going to be joining the palms, joining the fingers behind the back. So I'm going to stretch up my left arm in preparation, bend the elbow, and use the other hand to help open up the armpit. So I'm opening up the armpit, lifting the elbow to the ceiling, and bringing the right arm behind me, walking it up the back, catching the fingers, and then opening up again. Rolling the upper arm in towards the temple. Rolling the right shoulder down and back. Take the navel in towards the back waist as you sit tall. Keep opening the armpit. Keep lifting the elbow. This is going to help us extend the spine for the coming poses. And then release, stretch the arms up. I'm going to change my position for the second side. Rolling the calves out to the side, sit back, have your strap handy. So for this one, bring the right arm up, walk the hand down the back, and then bring the other arm behind you. If reaching is difficult, use a strap and catch the other end of the strap as you open the armpit, lifting up, open the armpit, lift up the shoulder, lift up the elbow, keep the head in neutral, watch that the rib cage doesn't pop forward, and suck in the navel towards the back waist. Keep the eyes soft and breathe normally. And then release. For the next pose, you need a brick. And we're going to sit in Virasana one more time, and to change my direction to give you a better demonstration. So we'll sit forward, rolling the calves out to the side, come back into Virasana. Move the flesh away from the sitting bones and sit for a moment. So this pose is called Paryankasana, and it's rather like a couch. We're going to be stretching the back over this brick. So this brick is going to come under the shoulder blades. Under the shoulder blades. We'll stretch the arms out behind. So putting the weight on the hands, open the chest and find that place where the brick is just underneath the shoulder blades. So a little closer for me. It's about 8 inches behind the level of your feet. So lift the chest, rest the shoulder blades on the brick. So find your balance there for a moment. Make sure that the flesh on the knees is not trapped, and then get ready to stretch the arms up and back. Stretch each arm independently, lengthen any amount, and then catch the elbows, opening the chest even more and release the head back. If your neck is not able to do that, then keep the head looking upwards. Stretch the arms one more time and we'll change the crossing. Lengthen through the arms, open the armpits, release the head down. Stretch the arms out, bring them back beside you, press the hands into the mat and come up evenly as you sit tall. We're going to take an Ardha Mukha Svanasana to stretch out the legs. So press the hands down, reach back, and take your Ardha Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. I'm going to give you a fun pose to practice if you find that your quads are tight and the whole psoas muscle that comes from the knee right up to the hip, if they're tight, here's something you can practice against a wall. So I'm kneeling in front of the wall. Now I'm going to bring the left foot up the wall. So I'm resting on my hands, bringing the foot up the wall, and then the right will come as a right angle. So So this leg is in a right angle, this one is in Virasana. Can you see the foot is coming out to the side of my hip, and I'm keeping my hips squared. Now you don't have to come quite as close with the knee, you can be a little less demanding of yourself and bring the knee further forward. But if you can manage to get it further back, it replicates Virasana quite well. So this is practicing with one foot at a time. Hands on the hips to even them out, and then stretch the arms up. If you have ropes, you can get more lift in the chest by using the ropes. So hold this, taking the chest in for a couple of breaths, as long as you can take it. And then hands down, change the legs over. So now this foot is in Virasana, this foot is squared, I have a 90-degree angle from my knee, hands on the hips to even out the pelvis, and then take a breath in, stretch up. Got straps you can hold to lift the chest. And you'll feel a stretch in the quad for sure. And then come down. And back to Virasana. Knees together, ankles together. So continuing our back extensions, we're going to take two poses lying on the front, two prone poses. The first is going to be Salabhasana. So make sure you have some padding on your mat, perhaps a blanket spread out on your mat. And we're going to stretch out on the mat with the arms stretching back, legs stretching back, opening the chest. The important part is to lengthen the spine, taking the tailbone towards the heels. Rest the forehead, bring the legs in so that the front thighs are rolling in towards each other. Rest the hands beside you, palms up, rest the forehead. Take a breath in, and then lift the legs, lift the arms, roll the shoulders back. Compact the hips, grip the buttocks, feet together, arms stretching back, lifting up. Hold it for a few breaths, and then release down. Let's do that one more time. Bring the front thighs in towards each other, palms facing out. Rest the forehead. Take a breath in. Lift the legs, lift the chest. Roll the shoulders back. Lift the wrists, lift the ankles. And release down. Dhanurasana follows on from this pose, which is the bow. Stretch the arms back, catch the ankles, roll the shoulders back, and on an inhalation, lift the knees, lift the arms, and roll the shoulders back. If you come up with the legs apart, make an effort to bring the legs closer together as you open the chest, lifting up the knees, the wrists, the shoulders roll back. So this is a back extension, stretching the spine, and release down. Take the head to one side, take the head to the other side. And we'll take that one more time. Virasana. Bring the legs in together, catch the ankles. Inhale and lift up. So the abdomen is all that's left on your mat. Roll the shoulders back. Lift. Arms, legs, draw the knees in together. And release down. Take the head to one side. Take the head to the other side. Place the hands beside the shoulders. Turn under the toes. Come back to Adho Mukha Virasana. So big toes touching, knees to the side. Walk the hands forward. Rest the head. If the head won't touch the mat without the buttocks lifting, then place a brick underneath the head. The last pose in the Virasana series is Supta Virasana. So Supta means lying down, prone, supine, Virasana, hero pose. So sit as you did earlier on in this pose. If you need the brick, you're going to have some height underneath the sitting bone. Sometimes a book or a folded blanket is enough. So the heels are either side of the hips. Lift up the knees to check that there is no skin caught on the stickiness of your mat. Now you may prefer to have a bolster or a pillow behind you and something for your head. I'm keeping it simple today, just using a brick, but you can of course use a blanket or something softer. Some people may need nothing at all, so I'll demonstrate that afterwards. And have a little space between your sacrum and the bolster, maybe a fist. Place your hands on the floor, slowly lengthen through the front chest, lengthen through the spine as you lie down over your bolster. Let the head rest behind you and lift the chest, shoulder blades moving in. Take the hands on the sacrum, on the buttocks rather, and move the buttocks down towards the heels. And then stretch the arms up, catch the elbows, and rest the arms behind you on the bolster. So you would hold that for a minute perhaps, 2 minutes, however long you can manage. And in the middle, stretch up the arms, change the cross on the elbows, and bring the arms back one more time. So you're lengthening the spine, you're stretching through the quads, through these psoas muscles here that we've been exercising, and it's great for opening the chest, spreading the diaphragm. Coming out, press the hands into the feet or into the mat beside you, and using your elbows, come up evenly. Sit tall and take the navel towards the back waist. So there isn't this, but this, a softer aspect. And to take the pose without the bolster, simply place the hands behind you, come down onto your elbows, lengthen through the front chest, lengthen through the back chest, rest the head down, press down the thighs, tailbone and buttocks down towards the heels, and stretch the arms over the head. And then in time, catch the elbows, stretch, catch the elbows, and then get ready to come up. So place the hands on the feet, elbows on the mat, come up evenly and sit tall. And every time you take Virasana for any extended amount of time, it's good to release the knees and stretch them out in Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. So here we go. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Some variations on Dvipada Viparita Dandasana include stretching out the arms behind the head when you are lying over the chair in 3 different ways. So this is how we'll do those. Bring the sitting bones back beyond the seat of the chair. Line up the feet with the hips. Lengthen through the spine. Pushing away to open the diaphragm, to lengthen the front chest. Lengthen, lengthen. Stretch out the legs. If you need to rest the legs on a brick, you could bring them a little higher and release the lower back. And then stretch over the arms behind you. Lengthening through the arms, through the legs. This is a big stretch. And then a variation is to hold the elbows, open the armpits, creating more opening in the chest. Change the crossing. And then clasping the hands together, turn the palms away from you, lengthen through the arms. And then release to come out, hold the sides of the chair, bend the knees, dig the elbows into the chair, sit up evenly. Move back into the center of the chair, sit tall, navel towards the back waist. We'll take a gentle twist at this stage, so right hand behind, left hand over the back of the chair and turn. Back to the center. Right hand to left. And turn. Release back to the center. Another pose that we can take, which involves a back extension over the chair, is Virasana on a chair. This is a pose that can be done on a chair, on bolsters, and later I'll demonstrate on the floor, on the ground. This is how we do it over the chair. So bring the sitting bones beyond the seat of the chair. Have the feet underneath the knees, heels underneath the knees, feet lined up with the outside edge of the mat. And then take the back onto the chair, open the chest, slide further down so the shoulder blades are now way off the edge of the chair. I'm sliding a little bit further, sliding a bit further, taking the arms back, pressing the hands into the floor and bringing the elbows closer in. So line up the hands, line up the elbows, have the feet closer into the chair. On an inhalation, lift up. Try to straighten the arms, open the chest, open the armpits, press the heels down. And then release back down. Take hold of the chair. Dig the elbows into the seat. Come up evenly. Sit back in the center of the chair. Take a few breaths. Take the front waist to the back waist to lengthen the spine. And then climbing carefully out of the chair, I'll demonstrate Virasana on the floor next to the wall. So I've got 2 bricks by the wall. You can also place your hands on the floor. This gives a little assistance in straightening the arms and getting more lift. So with the knees bent, close into the body, lie down, place the head close to the bricks, bring the fingers and the palms onto the bricks, keep the elbows moving in towards each other, take a breath in, come up onto the head, take another breath in and come up. Slowly come down onto the head, lengthen through the spine so that the lower waist comes down last, and then bring the knees into the chest. And we'll finish with a twist. Spread out the arms, keep the ankles, the knees together, and we're going to twist to the left, knees and ankles stacked over each other, shoulders resting down. Twists are not only healthy and detoxifying up to the top, but they also neutralize the spine after spine extensions. Take a breath in, stack the knees, stack the ankles, release down to the opposite side. Keeping the knees high towards the elbows. Let's do that one more time. Reposition the hips, take a breath in, release the knees down towards the elbow. Release the shoulders down. So the twist is in the spine. Nurturing your abdominal organs. Top, hug the knees, take a couple of circles on the sacrum, release the knees down and get ready for Shavasana. Make sure in Shavasana you are warm, you are going to be undisturbed, so switch off your phone. Make sure that you're in a quiet, warm environment where you're safe and undisturbed. Stretch out the legs one by one. Let the feet drop to the side. Roll the shoulders under. Lengthen the upper arms so the elbows come out to 45 degrees. Palms up. You can tip down the thumbs to open the palm, but let the palm go soft after that. The back of the neck is long, the throat is soft, and once your eyes are closed, envisage looking into the heart. Let the body completely relax for your conscious relaxation. And stay here as long as you can. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Is nourishing for the body.